Hi, my name is Atif and welcome to 10th part of Real Estate App Development series. In this part, we will design and implement change user password. Open the project in Android Studio. First of all, we need to create an activity. Right click on Activities package, click New, click Activity, select Empty Views Activity, type the name of activity, that is Change Password Activity. After entering the activity name, make sure to choose the language Kotlin and click Finish. After creating this activity, our next step is to open this activity by clicking the option Change Password, which is available in Profile Fragment. Open the Profile Fragment class and also its layout file, that is fragmentprofile.xml. We need to add click listener on Change Password card view. And for that, open the profile fragment class and in onViewCreated function, we will add click listener binding dot change password card view dot set on click listener. Now we need to create an intent to start the activity. Start activity intent. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the activity we want to start, that is change password activity. After that, we will start designing the UI for change password activity. For that, open the activity change password.xml file, remove the ID, and replace the constraint layout with relative layout. After that, we need to create a custom toolbar. For that, we will create a relative layout. Width will be match parent and height will be 210 dp. After that, we need to set the ID of this toolbar and the ID will be toolbar relative layout. And we also need to set the background of this toolbar and that background is available in drawable folder with name toolbar bg02. To allow user to go back, we are going to create an image button. Width will be wrap content, height will also wrap content. ID of this button will be toolbar back button. After that, we need to show an icon in this image button, and that icon is available in drawable folder with name back white. The background of this button will be transparent, so we will use the property at Android color transparent. We also need to set padding 10 dp and we will change the color of the icon using the property tint and the value will be question mark attribute color on primary. So icon color will be changed according to the selected theme of device. Now we will create a text view to show the title of toolbar. Text view width will be wrap content and height will also wrap content. ID of this text view will be toolbar title text view. Now instead of specifying custom size to the text of this text view, we will use the property style and the style will be title medium, which is part of material 3 theme. We also need to set the text to this text view and the text will be change password. We need to show this text view in center horizontal, so we will use the property layout center horizontal with value true. We also need to set margin from top, which will be 10 dp. Now we will change color of the text. For that we will use property text color and the color will be question mark attribute color on primary. So text color will be changed according to the selected theme of device. After that, to show our profile icon, we will create a shapeable image view. Shapeable image view width will be 60 dp and height will also 60 dp. After that, we will set the ID of this image view and ID will be profile image view. Let's show an icon in this image view that is available in drawable folder with name person black. We need to show the icon below our title using the property layout below. Let's place this image view in center horizontal, and the margin vertical will be 10 dp. We need to set a background color to this image view using the property background, and the color will be question mark attribute color on primary. So background color will be changed according to the selected theme of device. Now we will use the property tint to apply a color on the icon, and we will apply a color using add color on primary. After that, we will format the background shape using the property shape appearance overlay, and we will apply a style image style circle that is available in styles.xml file. Now let's create another text view to show the description. Width and height will be wrap content. We will use text property to set the text. Now we will change ID of this text view using the property ID, and the ID will be toolbar description TV. After setting the ID, we will set color of this text view using the property text color, and the color will be question mark attribute color on primary. So text color will be changed according to the selected theme of device. And we need to place this text view below our profile image view using the property layout below. Instead of wrap content, the width should be match parent. Okay, next step is to change the alignment of text using the property text alignment, and the alignment will be center. Okay, now to set padding from start and end, we will use the property padding horizontal, and the padding will be 10 dp. Now we are going to create another relative layout that will contain the form to change the password. Width will be match parent and height also match parent. We have placed this relative layout below toolbar, and we also need to set padding to this relative layout, that is 10 dp. Inside this relative layout, we are going to add our text input layout to input the current password. Width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. Now we are going to set the ID, and the ID will be current password text input layout. After that, we need to show a hint in this text input layout since user need to enter password. So hint will be password. Now we need to format the background shape with rounded corners. For that, we will use the property box corner radius top start 8 dp, box corner radius top end 8 dp. Similarly, box corner radius bottom start 8 dp, and box corner radius bottom end 8 dp. After that, we will show our toggle password option using the property password toggle enabled with value true, and we also need to show an icon in start of this text input layout using the property start icon drawable, and the icon is available in drawable folder with name log white. Inside this text input layout, we need to create an edit text with width match parent and height wrap content. ID of this edit text will be password edit text. Since user need to enter password in this edit text, so in input type will be text password. Now we need to input the new password, and for that, instead of creating the same code again, we will copy the code, copy, and paste this code after current password text input layout. After pasting the code, we will change the ID of this text input layout. Previously, the ID was current password text input layout. Now it will be new password text input layout. Also change the hint to new password. After that, we need to place this text input layout below the password text input layout. And we also need to set a margin from top for DP. We also need to change the ID of the edit text from password edit text to current password edit text. The next step is to change the ID of new password text input field. The ID will be new password edit text. Now we need to create another text input layout to input the confirm password. For that, copy this code and paste after new password text input field. After pasting it, we will change the ID of this text input layout from new password to confirm new password text input layout. And we also need to change the hint to confirm new password. We need to place this layout below new password text input layout. Also change the ID of edit text to confirm new password edit text. And in the last, we need to create a button which will be material button. Width will be match parent and height will be wrap content. After setting width and height, we need to set the ID of this button, that will be submit button. After setting the ID, we also need to set minimum height, and the minimum height we have defined in diamonds.xml5 with name and button height. We also need to place this button in bottom of the screen using the property layout align parent bottom with value of true, and the text of this button will be submit. Okay, now our UI part is now completed. I have also placed the comments to make it more easy to understand for you. Now we can start implementing our logic. And for that, open the change password activity class. Before starting code to change password, we need to remove this unnecessary code. After that, we will bind the activity change password.xml file with our activity class using view binding, and we will define in class level private latent var binding, which will be of type activity change password binding, and we will initialize it in onCreate function before set content view binding equal to activity change password binding dot inflate, and as a parameter pass layout inflator, and in set content view we will pass binding dot root. To show the logs in logcat, we are going to define a tag in class level, so we can use that everywhere in this class. Private value tag equal to change password tag. After that, we will declare Firebase auth in class level, private let init var Firebase auth, which will be of type Firebase auth. We also need to declare Firebase user in class level, private variable Firebase user, which will be of type Firebase user, and we will declare it as nullable. After declaring it in class level, we will initialize it in onCreate function Firebase auth equal to Firebase auth.get instance. There is a mistake. Replace the Firebase user with Firebase auth. And after initializing the Firebase auth, we can initialize the Firebase user. Firebase user equal to Firebase auth dot current user. Now we will declare the progress dialog in class level, private let init variable, name it as progress dialog, which will be of type progress dialog, and we will initialize it in onCreate function progress dialog equal to progress dialog, which requires a parameter of type context, that is this progress dialog dot set title, and title will be please wait. To disable dismissing progress dialog, when user click outside of this dialog, we will use a property progress dialog dot set cancelled on touch outside with value false. After that, we can add click listener on toolbar back button binding dot toolbar back button dot set on click listener. In this click listener, we will just call our function finish. So when user click this button, it will go back to previous activity. Now we will add click listener on submit button binding dot submit button dot set on click listener. Before starting changing the password, we need to validate the data, and for that we will create a separate function, private function validate data. After creating this function, make sure to call this function in click listener of submit button. Now we will declare separate variables to hold current password, new password, and confirm new password. Private variable current password, initialize it with empty string. Similarly, new password equal to empty string. And in the last, we need to create another variable to hold confirm new password. After creating these variables, come in the validate data function. So we will input the user data and save in these variables. Let's start by inputting the current password. Current password equal to binding dot current password edit text dot to string and dot trim. Actually, we don't need to call the trim function. After initializing the current password, we will initialize the new password equal to binding dot new password edit text dot to string. Similarly, confirm new password equal to binding dot confirm new password edit text dot to string. Now we will show the values of these variables in logcat using log.d. First parameter is the tag and second parameter is the message we want to show. And we have concatenated the values of variables as second parameter message. Now we will create a condition to validate if user has entered current password or not. If current password dot is empty, this condition will be called if user has not entered the current password. In that case, we will set the error to current password edit text using binding dot current password edit text dot error equal to enter current password. We also need to move the focus to current password edit text using binding dot current password edit text dot request focus. After that, we have created another condition, else if new password dot is empty. This condition will be called if user has not entered new password. Binding dot new password edit text dot error equal to enter new password. We also need to move the focus to that edit text using binding dot new password edit text dot request focus. We need to create another condition to check if user has entered confirm new password, else if confirm new password dot is empty, which will be called if user has not entered the confirm new password. In that case, we will set the error binding dot confirm new password edit text dot error equal to enter confirm new password. We also need to move the focus to that edit text using binding dot confirm new password edit text dot request focus. Let's create another condition to check if new password and confirm password are same or not. Else if new password not equal to confirm new password. This condition will be called if there is a different password in new password editor and confirm new password editor. In that case, we will set error to confirm new password. Binding dot confirm new password edit text dot error equal to password does not match. And we also need to request the focus to that edit text using binding dot confirm new password edit text dot request focus. And we have created an else statement which will be called if all data is validated. And before changing the password, we need to authenticate the user using current password. And for that, we have created a separate function, private function authenticate user for update password. After creating this function, make sure to call this function in the else statement. Authenticate user for update password. Now in start of the validate data function, we are going to create a simple log.d. First parameter is the tag and second parameter is the message, and the message will be validating data. Now come in the Authenticate User for Update Password function and create a simple log.d to print a message, and the message will be de-authenticating user. After showing the logcat, we need to show the progress dialog, and before showing progress dialog, we need to set message to it. Progress dialog dot set message, and the message will be authenticating user. Now we can show the progress dialog using progress dialog dot show. Now we will create an instance of auth credential value, name it as auth credential equal to email auth credential dot, actually it's not email auth credential, rather it is email auth provider, email auth provider dot get credential, which requires two parameters. First parameter is the user email, which we will get from Firebase user, Firebase user dot email, and second parameter is the password, that is current password. As a first parameter, which is email, we need a not nullable value, so we will mark it as not null. So far we have created an instance of auth credential using email and password. Now we will start authenticating the user using Firebase user dot re-authenticate, which requires a parameter of type auth credential that we have created above. Now we need to add a success listener dot add on success listener, which will be called if re-authenticating is successfully done. We also need to add a failure listener dot add on failure listener, which will be called if there is any exception while authenticating the user. In add on failure listener function, rename the exception parameter as E. After that, create a log.e and pass the exception parameter as third parameter, which will print the exception in logcat. After that, we have dismissed the progress dialog using progress dialog.dismiss. We also need to show exception message in toast using myutils.toast. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message we want to show, and the message will be failed to authenticate due to $e.message. Okay, now come in the add on success listener function and create a log.d to print a message in logcat, and the message will be authentication success. After successful authentication of user, we can start changing the user password, and for that we are going to create a separate function, private function. Name the function as update password. After creating the function, make sure to call this function in add on success listener function. Now come again in the function update password. In the start, we will create a log.d to print a simple message, and the message will be updating password. After that, we will change the message of progress dialog dot set message. Since we are going to update the user password, so the message of progress dialog should be like updating password. Progress dialog dot set message updating password. And after setting the message, we can show the progress dialog using progress dialog dot show. After that, now we can start updating the user password using Firebase user dot update password, which requires a parameter of type string, that is new password. We will add a success listener dot add on success listener, which will be called if user password is successfully updated. And we also need to add a failure listener function dot add on failure listener, which will be called if there is any exception while updating the user password. Rename the exception parameter as E, create a log.e and pass exception parameter as third parameter to print exception in logcat. After that, we have dismissed the progress dialog, and we also need to show exception message to toast using myutils.toast. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message we want to show, and the message will be failed to update password due to e.message. After that, come in the onSuccessListener function and create a log.d, and as a message we will print the message password updated. After that, dismiss the progress dialog using progress dialog.dismiss. We also need to show a message to toast using myutils.toast. First parameter is the context and second parameter is the message, and the message will be password updated. Okay, our code is now completed. I have also placed the comments to make it more easy to understand for you. Before running the project in your device, you may want to review the code and match with mine. Now we are ready to run the project in real device. You may also run in emulator. Copy the tag, open logcat, and paste the tag here. So it will filter and show only those logs which are printed using this tag. When the project is run successfully, log in using the email, open profile, click the change password option. In the start, click the submit button. It will show error that enter current password. Now enter current password. Now click submit button. It will show error enter new password. Now enter a new password and click submit button. When you click submit button, it will show an error that enter confirm new password. Enter a confirm new password which is different from new password. So it will show error. This time enter a same password and click submit button. So it will start changing the user password. Click back button, click logout. Now click the email option, enter the email. In the password field, enter the password we have just updated. That is 12345678 and click login button. It will log in using new password. Our testing part is successfully done, and so we will continue from here in next part. If you face any issue, you may ask in comments.